He buzzes all
Oh,
over.
nice.
Some of them are funny.
Yeah, clever. Good evening.
Good evening.
At this time, I'm going to call the meeting of Mayor and Council to order at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, May 26th. If you would all rise for the invocation by Councilman Mike Bradley.
Ink still wet. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this gift of a beautiful day, and thank you for the group in this room who have gathered with a common thread, the love of our city, and the vision to make and support decisions for its perpetuity. Please give us faith, wisdom, courage, and strength to pursue these goals. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. If you remain standing for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Just as a reminder for council, there will be executive session following tonight's city council meeting. Are there any changes to the agenda for tonight's meeting?
No, sir, there are not.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to ask for an approval of the minutes for the regular meeting scheduled or held on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. Those minutes have been provided in your packet. If I can get a motion to approve.
Councilwoman Grassett, I make that motion.
A motion from Councilwoman Grassett. Is there a second?
Councilman Bradley, I second.
A second from Councilman Mike Bradley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Those passed unanimously. At this time, I'd like to ask for approval of the minutes for the budget workshop number 1 that was held on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. Those minutes from the budget workshop have been provided in your packet. If there are no questions or comments, I'll accept the motion.
Councilman Quillen, I'll make that motion.
A motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilwoman Grassett, I second the motion.
A second from Councilwoman Grassett. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Those passed unanimously. All right. At this time, is there anyone here this evening for public comment?
Yes, we have Deborah Hall here for public comment.
Ms. Hall, if you'd come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's going to appear that I'm reading much of this, and I am, because I tend to be wordy, and I might go way off, and I only have 3 minutes.
That's okay.
I am here tonight to respectfully ask the council to deny the owner's request found under new business, item number 1 on tonight's agenda. Since this owner required ownership of this property, it has presented itself to have quality of life issues and safety issues to those neighbors who surround this property on an ongoing basis. The police and code departments have been called out numerous times, more times than I would even care to count, to this property and to this owner. This owner, I'm not sure if he's appearing tonight or how that's working, but it would appear that he's going to be pleading lack of memory and an ignorance of the fact of the people that's actually on his property. He's asking for 2 strikes to be removed. The first incident that he cites that you will see tonight was an incident that was unknown or done by an unruly guest or an uninvited guest. Yet that individual was there from early afternoon to late evening on that said day. There was lots of drinking, loud music, neighborhood taunting by more than one person at this location. Eventually, one subject was later arrested later that evening. The idea that this subject was uninvited or unknown for that length of time is impossible for me to fathom. To my knowledge, no calls were made to the police by the tenants or the owner requiring the uninvited guest to leave the premises. The second incident that he's listing gets a little more bizarre, I guess, that the tenants had no recollection or memory of the report that was made to police or the incident that was reported there at that property. And I'm going to tell you what I find really troubling about this is it appears that we have an owner who has no control of his property, his tenants, his unknown or uninvited guest, which to me presents a real safety concern for those who live in that surrounding neighborhood. And if you know that neighborhood at 331 Pine, you are on top of each other. We know our neighbors very well in this neighborhood. To me, this equation equals a disaster that is waiting to happen at this location. Please, I'm imploring this council not to remove the 2 strikes that he's asking to be removed. They were earned rightfully by this owner. I had a passing thought today, and that passing thought was, I wonder how many times this particular owner has got up to 2 strikes. It gets, erased, and they're no longer there, and then we start this process all over again. So we never really reach the 3rd strike. But the problem with this is when those strikes are erased, the neighborhood has had no change in quality of life, and he's made no change as owner of that property. So again, I'm asking, do not, we are imploring you as neighbors of this neighborhood, please do not remove those 2 strikes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Do we have anybody else here this evening for public comments?
We have Paul Sell for public comment.
Mr. Sell.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sell.
Basically, I'm going to kind of echo what Debbie just said. I've been next door to 331. I moved in there about 15 years ago. When that property was purchased by Gary, the first year or so was fine, and then he rented it out. And ever since he started renting it out, my quality of life has gone downhill. I used to be able to sit on my front porch, peace and quiet. All I heard was the birds and occasional car go by. Now all I can hear is loud talking, just constant. I also would like respectfully to ask you folks not to remove the strikes that he has against him, because this has been an ongoing issue for, 11, 12 years now, I guess. Like I said, my quality of life has gone downhill significantly since he started renting the property. There's been police called to that property numerous times, over 50. I wouldn't be surprised if it was getting close to 100. The landlord doesn't seem to care one bit about his property or his tenants until something happens, like his property gets condemned or the city goes in and cleans up trash that's been piled up. Seems to be the only time he shows up. On contrast, my landlord, he goes and checks his properties every single day. And I wouldn't say all landlords have to check their property every single day, but you should check. And I mean, this landlord knows this property has been a problem for a long time. He's been called out on it many times. Like I said, the police showed up there countless times. My quality of life has gone down. I don't appreciate it. I would like to go back to a nice, quiet neighborhood where I can sit on my front porch and all I hear is birds and occasional car go by. So I respectfully ask all of you to not rescind those strikes against him because he doesn't deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Sell. Do we have anybody else here this evening for public comments?
We have Jennifer DeMuro.
Mr. Morrow?
Hi, good evening. My
Good
name is
evening.
Jennifer DeMuro. I own the property at 322 North Pine Street. Every blessed day, I regret my decision in purchasing the property. I am a landlord in Northeast Philadelphia, PA. I understand that landlords must be responsible and attempt to be conscientious for the tenants and the neighbors as well. I myself follow that protocol. My daughter and I had open line of communication with Gary, the property owner at 331 North Pine Street. Through phone calls, we made him aware of the noise, the drinking, the prostitution in and out of the house, the drugs on the corner, the sleepless nights we had to endure, trying to protect our property, the threats from people living there and visiting there. It's been beyond dangerous, beyond threatening. All I can honestly say is my daughter and I are two single women, both in the medical field. We have a child. He just turned 7, my daughter's son, my grandson. It is not fair that lewd dancing happens on the street corners, broken beer bottles, the noise, the people constantly visiting there, disrupting our quality of life. We have to pay taxes. We have to get up and earn a paycheck. Children have to go to school. People have health issues. And the property owner at 331 North Pine Street is only concerned about having strikes removed. We are concerned about our mental well-being, our physical safety, and our quality of life. Please do not give this man that type of consideration. Please give us, the neighbors that reside there, full-time, that consideration. That's all I have to say, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else here this evening for public comment?
We have Alicia DeMiro here for public comment.
Ms. DeMiro?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello. As you know, a couple months back when I've attended complaining about 331 North Pine Street, there's been some more incidents that have happened in which I do have videoed on my phone with altercations with the police when they have been called, 2 arrests being made, drunk, reckless driving, prostitution, nonstop. So the reason why I'm standing up here to ask you guys not to remove these strikes is because of self-gain and selfishness as someone who does not fully reside in that house at 331. And we can say we do not know the people who come there or reside there because of such a rotation of different people living there, but it's been the consecutive same individuals recently who are a part of the problem. They are bringing these people over as company, outside with these people, laughing when the police come up, as if it's a big joke. My son, even in the daytime, I can't even take him outside to ride his bicycle, to ride his scooter, to ride his skates, without trying to have intimidation tactics come my way. Now, being my 3rd or 4th time coming up here, I am highly frustrated. I have developed more health conditions from this stress, okay? It's unacceptable. When we put our house on the market, okay, the people showing the house did not even want to come out and show the house anymore because of the intimidation tactics and all the craziness that were going on across the street. That is beyond ridiculous. It is from morning, first thing in the morning, till late at night, non-stop. And I'm shaky because I am infuriated by this point. We had to take our house off the market because no one wanted to show it, because they were scared for their lives. The police even heard when they were threatening when neighbors came out who reside on this block, okay? Oh, we're Haitians, we run this SHIT, blah, 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 F-U, calling all white people CRACKHEADS's. I'm not gonna say it because my 7-year-old son had to be here tonight after working all day, okay? And I have no one else to watch him. So please don't remove these strikes because he's only in it for himself. And God forbid if it was his children or his grandchildren doing this or having to live amongst this. Even the children that reside in that household, I feel bad for at 331 North Pine Street because God only knows what goes on. It's very evil. It's unacceptable. And I'm begging you, please do not remove these strikes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have anybody else here for public comment?
We have Dale Short here, public comment.
It's short.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's Dale Short. I own the property adjacent to the one that's been discussed by the last several people. It's been a long road and a hard thing for me to bite on some of the conditions that go on that property that affect my property. I put railroad ties out to separate the property lines. They pick them up and they hoist them all the way in the back of by what I call my football field, my backyard. They don't leave nothing alone. 2 years ago, they dug up a portion of my backyard to make a garden. They dug an area about from here to there. And I had to call the city, and the city went and told them, said they couldn't be doing it. That's nonsense. I'm the one that cuts the grass at the apartment and takes care of it. It's nothing like going out there and having to take trash and beer bottles and throw it back across the line so I don't run over them and get hurt by broken glass, which happened to me a couple years ago with a push mower. Hit a bottle in the grass and the glass come up and cut my forehead. It's ridiculous what goes on. He has no concern about anybody else but collecting that check that he gets or how he gets paid for rent. That's the only concern I see he has. And something needs to be done, and by dropping strikes, I can't see it being done. If the strikes get dropped, the system has failed. That's the way I see it. So please, take a hard look at this situation, and maybe something can get corrected besides me picking trash up and fighting for my property rights and everything. When I used to talk to him and communicate with him, but then he stopped taking the phone calls. So I hope you all do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Short. Anyone else for public comment?
No, there's no one else for public comment.
Thank you, Beth. Okay. We're running a little behind. I'd like to ask for a motion to begin our public hearing at 7:17 p.m.
Councilman Quillen, I'll make that motion.
Motion from Councilman Quillen. Is there a second?
Councilman Bradley, I second the motion.
Second from Councilman Bradley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, we're going to enter to a public hearing at 7:17 p.m. I believe it's Mr. Brandon Hamilton from Sussex County Community Development and Housing. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, I'd like to thank the town for allowing Sussex County to hold our public hearing. My name is Brandon Hamilton, and I'm with the Sussex County Community Development and Housing Department. Our office applies for and administers the Community Development Block Grant Program, or CDBG as we call it. We apply for the funding on behalf of municipalities and rural communities. CDBG funding comes from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and is allocated to Kent and Sussex counties through the Delaware State Housing Authority. This grant year, there's approximately $3 million that will be awarded to Kent and Sussex counties on a competitive basis. One requirement for the CDBG program is to hold a public hearing, which gives us the opportunity to explain the program and provide an update to the council. Most importantly, it gives citizens and local leaders a chance to have input on the upcoming application. The Delaware State Housing Authority governs the grant process and through their consolidated plan lists the activities eligible for receipt of funding. Eligible activities include housing rehabilitation, sewer and water hookups, demolition, and infrastructure projects. All projects applied for must benefit persons of low and moderate income. They're defined as households with incomes at or below 80% of the area median income for Sussex County, and those numbers are set by HUD annually. Some examples of household incomes, maximum income for households to qualify for CDBG programs are a one-person household, a max income would be $57,800. A two-person household would be $66,050, and it goes up about $8,000 to $10,000 per household member, up to say a family of four. Max income would be $82,550. Historically, the majority of funding is used for owner-occupied housing rehabilitation. This is ideal because it helps maintain the existing housing stock. Housing rehab programs include roofing, doors, windows, electrical and plumbing upgrades, as well as energy upgrades. In order to qualify, the home must be owner-occupied. It must be the owner's primary residence. The household must qualify as low or moderate income. The home must be insured, and county taxes and utilities must be current. When we do a rehabilitation project on a home, we are required to put a lien on the property in order to protect the funding. For homeowners, regardless of age, this means that there will be a lien placed of, if there's less than $5,000 spent, there's no lien. But over $5,000 and between $15,000 and $5,000, it's a 5-year lien, and over $15,000 to $40,000, there's a 10-year lien. These liens are 0 interest and pro rata payback. As long as the homeowner lives in the house for that period of time, the lien will expire. This is really to protect the funding, so as a homeowner doesn't flip the home after we rehab it in order to earn a profit. With the lien protection, any sale or transfer that takes place before the lien expires simply results in reuse of the funding for another homeowner within a municipality. In the last 5 years, the City of Seaford has received $375,000 in CDBG funding from Sussex County for housing rehab. It should be noted also that in this same time period, we have applied for $585,000 in housing rehab funding over the same 5 years. With the funding that we have received in the past 5 years, we have assisted a total number of 25 households within the City of Seaford. We also have the ability to help the city households with emergency repairs using funds provided directly by the Sussex County Council. Some examples of emergencies could be no water, no heat, a severe roof leak, broken pipes, or handicap accessibility projects. Currently, we have 3 households on our waiting list for the City of Seaford. Because of the town's close involvement with residents, we ask the town staff to review the list that I provided to let us know if any of the properties listed are rentals or if the homeowner has deceased or sold the house, etc. Also, if you're aware of any additional properties that could benefit from the program, if in that case, please reach out to them and give them our contact information. They can call our office directly at 302-855-7777, and we will send out a brief 1-page application that they can fill out and return to hold a spot on our waiting list. We also now have a online application available on the Sussex County website on the Community Development and Housing page. Folks can access that and complete it directly online. In order to apply for funding this grant year, each town will need to demonstrate a waiting list of at least 4 properties. Ideally 6 or more, but we will not be able to submit an application for any municipality that has less than 4 names. Again, the main reason we hold this public hearing is to allow local citizens and representatives to have an input on this year's CDBG application. Are there any questions or comments?
Vice Mayor Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you for coming and explaining the program. Could you clarify that there's 3 people on the waiting list?
Yes, sir.
And you require 4?
Mm-hmm.
So we should be active in trying to find some other folks, right?
Yeah, if you guys know of
Because it's
anybody.
not going to happen unless.
Yep. Yeah, code enforcement folks, sometimes some towns, we can work with them directly, you know, in town inspectors, or we can also help provide, we have some brochures that we could drop by for maybe people to stop by to pay their utility bills and stuff, that they could kind of get the word out that way. But yeah, actually, on the way to this meeting, I stopped at a town, or a house in town, Seaford, that I'm going to be doing a emergency roof replacement project for. And he has filled out an application, but it hasn't made its way to the waiting list yet, because I just talked to him last week about it. So he actually will be our 4th person on the waiting list. But, you know, if some of the folks on there, if they don't qualify, and we do end up, if they've sold the house, or for some reason maybe they don't qualify, and we do get funding for Seaford this year, there's a likelihood we would need more than 4 houses in order to, you know, completely exhaust the funds in the city of Seaford.
Couple of follow-ups, if I could.
Sure.
So, in years past, there's been well more. There's been a dozen.
Yeah.
What do you attribute the lack of participation? Is it?
Well, I don't think it's a lack of participation, because it really, when I started to look the numbers up for this, that we've, in the last 5 years, we've done 25.
Right.
So,
yeah.
City of Seaford has generally had one of the longer waiting lists, you know, 10, 15 people usually. We did have one thing of note that happened was in 2020, we were, as a county, we were awarded an additional $4 million than we normally do through the American Rescue Plan. So we were able to kind of aggressively attack our waiting lists for that period of time.
Okay.
So those numbers weren't, that even those 25 don't include the projects that we used the ARPA funding to take on. So we did see during that time, that maybe 2 or 3 year period, where a lot of town lists went down, because we were able to just kind of access those lists, folks that had been waiting for a while, especially on the longer town lists. So I think that probably helped trim the list down a little bit, along with, we did get money for Seaford, I think, 4 out of the last 5 years. So,
Do you happen to know the median income threshold, so that some people who are watching might be able to
yeah, the
gauge whether they qualify?
yeah, and I mean, really, I think that it's probably higher than most people anticipate, because it's listed as low income, but it's low to moderate income. So, a single person household, the maximum income would be $57,800 a year. A family of 4 would be $82,550 a year.
So that's not out of reach for
No.
most of the people who live in the city, and I would
Yeah, certainly if you have.
recommend that anybody within earshot of this meeting apply.
Yep. Any questions? Anybody can feel free to call the office, 302-855-7777, and we can go through any questions. And also, the application's available online. It just takes a few minutes to fill out. Someone just can go fill it out online, and then it will immediately populate our waiting list. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Excuse me,
Councilman
can I ask a
Davenport.
question? I don't mean to be devil's advocate here, but how stringent is your approval process, so that maybe somebody wouldn't slip through the cracks and claim to be a resident there when actually they own the property and are not.
So we, very stringent. So our income qualification practices, we do have to follow HUD guidelines, which are very detailed. For permanent residents, we will always get a copy of the driver's license.
Okay.
And you know what I mean, that can rule it out pretty quick. We also have access to the DMV database.
And I'm not being smart, I'm just covering all the bases for people that might be listening, because in some cases, it's easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission.
No, and we also, I mean, we do, one of the qualifications is you can't own more than one property.
Okay.
Which is generally fairly easily searched, especially within Sussex County. You know, we can just search our regular county tax info, but yeah, we do have to go through a verification process to make sure the person that is the applicant resides in the house. And oftentimes we get into, you know, if you have adult children that live there, we need verification that they live there, or they need to, you know, or if they live somewhere else.
Okay.
But, yeah.
And believe me, it was just for my own
Sure.
personal education.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Any more questions from council? Are there any questions or comments from the public regarding this matter? Okay.
Since the City of Seaford has historically used the CDBG funding for housing rehab, we will plan to apply for that again in this year's application. This year's application is due on or before September 25th. We have sent a packet of documents to the town clerk and will need council approval and a mayor's signature. We will need all your signed documents and minutes from this meeting as soon as possible, so we can have sufficient time to compile and complete the application on your behalf. Someone from our office will be willing to pick up the documents whenever they are ready. And thank you again for allowing us to hold this public hearing. Our continued partnership is a testament to the town's diligence to maintaining proper code enforcement, as well as ensuring safe and stable housing for its residents.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Okay. I'm just going to reiterate, are there any questions or comments from council? Okay.
Just one comment.
Please.
I just think it's a great service for our community. You know, I think it's an opportunity to really, that you are helping people that are in need, and our community needs that. So thank you very much.
Okay. All right, so at this time, I need to ask for a motion to close the public hearing at 7:31 PM.
Mr. Mayor, I move to close the public hearing.
A motion from Vice Mayor Henderson. Is there a second?
Councilman Bradley, I second the motion.
A second from Councilman Bradley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Going to re-enter to our regular scheduled meeting at this time. All right. So at this time, regarding new business number one.
Motion on the public hearing? Yes. We need to do the motion on the public hearing.
Hang on one second, Mike. A little out of order here. All right. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion regarding public hearing number one.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve participation in the development of an application to the State of Delaware Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, program to include the City of Seaford and permit the mayor to execute all necessary documents on behalf of the city as presented.
All right. We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dan Henderson. Is there a second?
Councilwoman Grassett, I second the motion.
We have a second from Councilwoman Grassett. Are there any questions on the motion? Okay. If there are no questions at this time, I'll do a roll call vote, beginning with Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
Yes, based on the benefits to the city of Seaford.
Councilwoman and Dr. Grassett.
Yes, based again on the benefits that it will provide for our citizens.
Councilman Mike Bradley.
Yes, based on the cooperative agreement from others.
And Councilman Alan Quillen.
Yes, based on the benefits.
Okay. They're going to pass unanimously for nothing. And now we're going to move on to new business number one. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager.
Good evening.
I'm here to kind of introduce this appeal of the nuisance violations at 331 North Pine Street. So I put together a little timeline of the strikes in question. So the first strike out of these three occurred in October 2025, where a vehicle was witnessed traveling the wrong way on North Pine Street, did a U-turn in front of this property. The car was parked on the side of the street. People got out of the vehicle, entered the property. Second strike was in March of 2026, where Seaford Police Department responded to several noise complaints at the property, which ultimately resulted in a guest of the tenants taken into custody for public intoxication and a violation of the noise ordinance. And then the third strike was in April 2026, where we had to send a city crews out to clean up rubbish and have 3 cars removed from the property. This was in response to no action taken from a certified violation notice that was sent in March 2026 to the property owner. And in each of these instances, we do send a letter notifying the property owner strike has been issued, and giving them the reasons. And each time they've had the opportunity to appeal within 5 days of receiving that notice, which we do send certified mail. So we know when they receive it, and they have to sign for it at the post office. So this, we have video of the strike one, and I took some screen grabs this morning and put them on here, showing the car. It was leaving St. John's parking lot in the large picture on the left, going up the wrong way up a one-way street. Then the other two are kind of hard to see. I had to zoom in. The camera didn't zoom in the video I had, but the top right one is the car getting ready to perform the U-turn at the intersection there in front of the property at Spruce and Pine. And then the last one there at the bottom, kind of see it there as one of the people getting out of the car, walking straight to the property, and they do enter the property without knocking or asking permission to go in. They had access to the property uninhibited.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Am I allowed to add something? I just, back on that first violation, I would also tell you they left the St. John's parking lot after harassing employees of our preschool.
Okay, just not aware of that.
Yep.
Strike two, we don't have anything but the report from the police officer that we got after that incident had occurred, which was enough for us to issue the strike for the arrest and public intoxication charges. Strike three, these are the violation photos that were sent, showing the vehicles, rubbish scattered throughout the property. There was way more than this, but it was hard to fit them all on one screen. So we sent the notice, gave them the timeline, I think 5-10 days to get it cleaned up. They had moved some of the stuff around and I don't know what they were doing with it, but it was all still there, same items as in these photos. And when our city crews came, we hauled it off. We had 3 vehicles removed from the property. That's all I have. So if the property owner is here this evening.
I have a question.
Yes.
Just for clarification purposes, so they were given documentation following each strike.
Yes, sir.
You said they have 5 days to appeal each strike.
Correct.
Did they appeal any of the strikes
No,
within the
not
5 days?
until now.
Okay.
Not until he received the 3rd strike, which was, I believe, maybe within the 5 days.
Okay, so the first strike, no appeal. Second strike, no appeal. Third strike, appeal.
Of the first
potential
two.
of the first 2.
Yeah, he's asking for the first 2, not the 3rd,
But he did appeal within the 5-day window.
of receiving the 3rd strike.
Okay, just want to clarify. Okay.
Yeah, and that's directly from the code, Mayor, section 5.4.5.
So he is on his 3rd strike right now.
He is.
Yes, there was some previous strikes that came off previous to these 3.
And
They ran their time out.
for clarification purposes, code enforcement, when somebody gets a 3rd strike, what happens then?
So their fees triple, and then on the 4th strike, we require that the property be vacated
Yes, for
or
one-
sold. There's a little bit of a different process for that.
Can you go back to the slide with the strikes? Can we do that? So the strikes can be removed, if I'm not incorrect, 1 year after they happen?
You are correct.
So theoretically, if the 2 strikes were to hold tonight, come October 2026, that first one could fall back off.
That would be correct.
Okay.
Well, I think the way I interpret it, he's hit the 3 strikes, so he's within the penalty for that is triple of the fees for 5 years.
So that penalty stays.
That penalty will stay. Any additional strikes within that time period, it's game over. He's got to vacate the property for 1 year or sell it.
All right, so hold on. Just to reiterate, so.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. No, I feel it's important for details for everybody to understand. So the strike, because he had, theoretically, if you were to have 3 strikes, the strike would not fall off within the 5-year time window.
Yeah, he's on that 5-year time limit
Okay.
where we triple all of his fees for rental licenses. Any more after that, it's game
Okay.
over.
I appreciate the clarification because a lot of the residents have spoken about it tonight. A strike been given, fallen off, strike been, how frustrating that can be. So I just want to kind of lay out all the kind of ground rules here, so. Well, I got Vice Mayor first, then Alan.
So my question is, if it's happened before, then obviously he's never gotten to the 3 strike.
He's gotten to 2.
Okay.
And then the first one had fallen off because
Gotcha.
the 2 were spaced out months apart.
All right, Vice Mayor. Coming to you next.
Procedural thing, like, he has 5 days to appeal the strike from that date. He cannot retroactively go back to strike 1 and strike 2 with a 5-day notice from his April 26th. Am I understanding that right? I mean, you can only appeal strike 3 within 5 days because the other time limits are expired.
That's correct.
Is that?
That's what he's.
That's my
requested, and that's what we're
So,
presenting.
so what would have happened, any decision that we make as staff, the city manager, the building official, can be appealed to council. So when Mike and I talked about it, if we made that decision that his time had passed, he would appeal that decision to council, and it would be right here, anyway.
Councilman Bradley.
I've just got a comment. I would be a lot more receptive to this conversation if the landlord had been a pillar to the community after the strike. And from my vision, and I am a Pine Street resident, from my vision, no action means you don't care. And I felt pretty much like I had to speak my piece on this because I represent you guys. You've come to me. We've had discussions about it. And I would be lax in my position if I didn't address you.
I do have one more. Do we have any documentation of how many times the police have been called to this location? Do you know?
I
You
don't
don't have
have
that
access to that.
Do you mind if I ask the building official a question? Mr. Bailey, how long have you been building official for the city of Seaford?
Since 2017. so,
Okay. How long has this ordinance been in place?
2 years?
So it's
Strike system.
recently
Yeah,
new?
it's very
Okay.
recent.
2 years. So since 2017, have you had other issues with this specific property?
Yes.
Would you say it was regular issues with this property?
Yeah.
Okay. And,
Yeah.
and through those previous many years as being building official, you didn't have the tools to issue these strikes up until 2 years ago,
No,
correct?
the most we could do was issue violation notices. Ultimately, it would lead to a condemnation, which it did a couple times, which he made some repairs, got the condemnation lifted, and continued on as it was. But now we have this tool to enforce additional penalties on these property owners.
So in your opinion and based on your professional knowledge of the location, this has been a habitual issue?
Yeah, at least once or twice a year, we're out there doing something. It's been more recently, but, yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
The property owner is here if he wants, if you allow him to speak.
Bring him forward. Evening.
I'm just here to, as I send you the letter, and letter mentioned that those 2 strike, I'm concerned because those are uninvited guests and they were not living at my house, at the property. As you see that in a picture, the person go in a wrong direction, that does not belong to me at that property location. And a second incident for the March 26, that person was outside on a street. The police came in and arrested him because he was a nuisance with the police, not at the property. He does not live there, and he is not as a guest at that property either. There is no any incident happen as these all people telling us that prosecution going on. There is no prosecution in that property.
Okay.
I'll make some
Go ahead.
comments.
Go ahead.
We're sitting here and trying to figure out accountability here. Where do you find yourself here tonight and trying to be
Because
accountable on what's going on at that location?
I'm sorry?
What do you feel that's accountable? Do you feel that you're accountable
Yeah,
for what's happening there?
I'm saying the 3rd strike, I have informed them, give them a notice, verbally give them a notice to clean up everything. They were going to remove that on a weekend, they have a day off. And meanwhile, the city came in and cleaned them up.
How often do you visit this property?
Every 2-3 weeks.
Okay, and you don't see what's going on there?
I check it.
You don't listen to these people, what they're telling us here?
They are mad because.
No, they gotta live there every day, sir. They have to live there every day.
Yes, I understand that. The lady who's saying that about the prosecution, that lady used to date with that guy, and now she is mad because he doesn't want to talk to her.
Well, I drove by the property.
So,
I drove by the property this morning, and I saw no visible means of improvement since you even got notification. So that leads me to believe that you don't care.
no, I care. Every time Mr. Mike and Mr. Birdie come giving me a call or email me that, hey, Gary, this need to be taken care of. I always took care of it.
If you cared, you would be better tenants in there if you cared.
Yeah, I can remove those tenants. I don't have a problem.
You should have done that years ago.
But they've been there almost 3-4 years.
Yeah, well,
And we never had a problem before.
you've never had a problem. Never had an incident
No,
where the police
not
have been
like
up there
this.
or anything else like that.
Not the police before. They are the one who keep calling in police and all that going on since.
Okay.
Well, go ahead. Are you?
I was just going to comment 2 things. If you cared, you would have appealed with the 1st strike and the 2nd strike within the timeline. You care now because you got the 3rd strike and your fees have been increased.
I was not here when I was out of country.
You can still appeal.
Yeah, you could still appeal. I work on Pine Street. I drive by that property every day, every single day. And there is always somebody hanging outside of that property and doing something. There is not a day that goes by that I don't see somebody hanging out there doing
When
something.
they live there, they can sit over there. There is nothing wrong to sit outside.
It is when the neighbors are reporting that they're being threatened, they're being
There is no
intimidated.
threatening going on, madam.
Okay.
Nobody threaten anybody. And also the first incident, the driving wrong direction, and the second incident, they both outside of the property. I have come up with the knowledge that a couple months ago or last month sometime, you had on a front street, you have removed those incident like strike because that person does not live there or he was not as a guest invited.
All right. I'll make a few comments. I'm not a landlord, right? If I was a landlord, I wouldn't want my place looking this way, and I wouldn't want tenants there treating this place the way they have. So I can't fathom why you let this happen to this property. And we're asking you for accountability, and you say, well, I'm out of the country, or I'm not here and there. I mean, that's part of the problem, is that they're doing this underneath your nose, and you come by, and if they're cleaning up before you get there, maybe, but we've had these people sit here. Sometimes a half dozen of you have been here half dozen times. And they've told us repeatedly, this is a problem area. It's a problem location. It's a problem. And they shouldn't be fearful to walk around their neighborhood. It's ridiculous. I'm letting you finish. Okay. I feel a sense of guilt about this because I feel like we haven't done enough on this property. It's gone too far. It's talking about our child can't even go outside. They're afraid something bad's going to happen in their neighborhood. We serve the community, and I don't think I've done it well enough. If they're coming here and they feel like that house there is unsafe, and they're telling you it's unsafe, and you're saying, well, there was a relationship, or I don't know about this first strike. It's a problem. Clearly it's a problem. If I was you, I would try to fix the problem and get new tenants, but I'm not you. I'm telling you, this is a problem. They're telling you it's a problem. Deal with it.
Well, and we have a stake in this, and it's very, very simple. I was born and raised here. I walked that street as a child and did not fear. Nights when I come home, I purposely avoid going down that street at that end because I don't want to get involved in the show, okay? I shouldn't have to do that in my town. He was born and raised here. All these people on this council have done time here, okay? So we have a vested interest. It is for our future and for our children's future, and we're in these seats because that's what we want. And part of the problem is our neighbors are not doing their part to help us with our goal. And that's why we're upset.
I don't mean to beat you up.
And it has nothing to do with whose girlfriend or what happened or whatnot. There are certain things, if I were a visitor to another country, I would have to abide by their rules or they'd put my butt in jail. And I've been to enough other countries that I know when I'm there, I am their guest, okay? We have a lot of people in this community that I consider guests because they are not paying taxes, they are not contributing to the city. But do they abide by what we want? No.
So let me tie in here. I don't mean to beat you up. I don't mean to grandstand. I think fundamentally what Vice Mayor Henderson was saying, I don't think you're eligible to appeal strike 1 or 2. It's outside the timeline. But I don't think we're doing you any service if we just say that's the reason why we're not agreeing to the appeal. You need to hear from the residents what's going on. You need to hear from us, and you need to do something about it. Fundamentally, something has to change at the location or something bad's going to happen.
And I don't have a problem. Every time when I get information, I always taking care of it and I correct those issues. Never been having issue. I always to contribute to the city. I don't.
Then why do we have to go in there and clean that up? We didn't take care of it. Why do we go in there and have to clean it up?
They were going to do it on a weekend, as I say that.
Okay.
And the city popped up before that.
All right, I'm going to go over to our Vice Mayor Henderson.
And that's why I'm accepting this one, that this is considered my strike. I'm not saying about that. I'm not denying this. But the other two, I'm denying because those are not my strike consideration. You see the vehicle was going on the street, not at the house.
Okay.
The second one, the guy was arrested on the street, not near the property or not near at the house.
All right. Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Brombot, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be in your favor if it does come to a vote. My suggestion to you is that you change your business model, that you change your lease so that if you get fined or if you get strikes on you, that you can recover it from the tenant. Because I understand your concern because it's going to affect your profit margin. But the tenants, the ones that are actually doing the bad behavior, are the ones that need to pay. So I suggest that you change your business model and have them have skin in the game unless they want to move out and you get another better tenant.
And I can give them a notice and let them out from the property, or there is a second option, I can do it, install the camera system outside and keep it, everything on a record.
Any additional comments or questions from the council?
Because I'm just thinking that it's not fair to me if you have removed the strike from one property and not this property, because those are the same issue.
I hear you. It's not fair to our community for us to do nothing. That's not fair. And that's who we serve. All right. At this time, go ahead, Vice Mayor, please. Yep.
Could I ask, is the building official still here?
Yep, he's right.
Okay. Mr. Bailey, could you refresh the council's memory on what happened on North Front Street as far as strikes go? And how that was dealt with? I think I think there were some key differences between the two issues that Mr. Brombach may be confused about, and how those strikes were addressed.
Yeah, I believe it was a police chase.
Correct.
And the guy took an opportunity and ducked and cover at this property. We assessed a strike, and that owner immediately appealed that decision. And based on a report from the police, it was just happenstance that he hid there. So we rescinded that strike.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Brombach, I think you can see that those are two different types of treatments because there were two different types of situations. Thank you. Thank you, Mike.
My concern is both of them not at the property. They both person is different people. And the vehicle going on a wrong direction, how that belongs to me?
Because they pulled up to your property and stayed there the rest of the day.
No, they did not.
They did, because I was dealing with it myself because they were harassing people that work at the preschool where I work. And they went to that property, and then that car was there for a long time after that for the rest of the afternoon.
As far as I got the information from the tenant, they informed me that after they talked to the police officer talked to that person and got the information, that officer make him to leave. So he wasn't there at all after that.
Yes, after several hours, yes.
He left it right after the officer left.
I'm talking about from the time of the incident.
No.
Yeah, I believe for fact what happened was when the police reviewed the tape and the person went the wrong way, went to that house, got out of the car, and went directly into that building. That's what the tape showed. That's the fact. The second incident, the person was there. He was intoxicated. He was with that group of people out front. The police were called due to loud noise. He was arrested at that point because of the way he acted towards the police officer and being intoxicated. He was associated with that property, with a party they were having at that property.
No,
Yes.
my tenant
No,
was
those
not
are
aware of
facts.
the second incident.
Your tenants were there on the porch. No?
That's what I was told by them.
Yeah.
They were
think
not.
you're-
But the bottom line is, you have our city manager, seated and elected city council members, and upstanding neighbors who are telling you the opposite. I would say that your tenant is not the one being truthful.
One last comment, and I think we need to go ahead and make a vote on this. Okay? And that is, I want to echo what Councilman Henderson said. You need to take a good look at your business model. You need to take a good look at the tenants that you put in that facility, and you need to be very careful, and you need to be accountable. you do, okay? 2 weeks, once every 2 weeks, maybe not be enough time to go in there and take a look. Maybe me going in there once a week, 2 times a week, and see what's actually going on, because it's very clear, you're not clear of what's going on at that location. And I don't go by there every day. I've been by there several times, and I see what goes on there, okay? So you need to take a good look, and removing any strikes from me, no way. No way.
I think our community deserves better than this, is my opinion.
I'll do the motion.
Yep, at this time, I ask for a motion.
I'll do the motion. Motion to deny an appeal of the 2 criminal nuisances violations issued to the property located at 331 North Pine Street in accordance with the section 5.4.5 of the municipal code as presented.
We have a motion from Councilman Alan Quinlan. Is there a second?
Councilman Bradley, I second the motion.
We have a second from Councilman Mike Bradley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. All right. On to new business number 2, and I believe the gentlemen from NXT Level Sports are here. Come on forward.
Hello, guys.
Good evening.
Just want to say hi. The mayor reached out to us after our post on social media and asked us to come in. And so we want to take this time to at least present, what our business is to you guys, and, what we plan to do to the community and, what we can bring, especially with something like this. We think it's really important to, bring to this side of Sussex County, because there's not really much in this area.
Excuse me one second.
Yeah.
Could you introduce yourselves?
Yes. My name is Steven Matalavich.
I am Miguel Sebes. I'm Alexis Torres.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry about that. I kind of going over too many steps.
You're excited. You should be.
Well,
You're
that was a
excited.
hard act to follow, what we just did.
Yeah. So we're just going to get into our presentation on the business, and want to bring it to the community, and super excited. So first off, we're going to be called Next Level Sports Complex. It's going to be right here in Seaford. It's going to be in the Western. We didn't add it in the presentation. I apologize. The Western Business kind of complex over there.
Western Sussex Business Campus.
Exactly.
It's
yes.
a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. Yes, 100%. So over there, we're going to be taking up. Thank you. We're going to be doing 15,000 square feet. It's going to be an indoor facility. It's going to have one soccer field, 120 by 60 feet. Again, we're going to use for kids, adult leagues, tournaments, a ton of things, right? That can include field hockey. A guy for baseball reached out to us already. However we can, manage to use that space to the community, we're willing to do that, right? As well as we're going to have some indoor pickleball courts. We know pickleball is growing, and we're really excited for not only just the younger community, but the older community. Getting in there early, getting their rounds of pickleball in before they start their day, I think is, great. So not only just going for the younger kids and, the younger community, but also the older community. I think it's a, good balance. And one thing that's great about us is we're all local, right? We're not from Seaford, right? But we are, from Sussex County. I went to Cape and Lopin High School, Lewis area.
I was actually born here in Seaford, but I was raised in Milford. But I was born in Seaford in '94.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And I was born in Milford, and I went to Milford High.
Yeah.
So we're local. We're from this area.
Yeah.
Seaford's not too far from us. We're always around.
I don't know
Open
if we
arms.
can. Yeah. I don't know if we can zoom in. I put a picture of the facility, kind of like the groundwork of it, what the layout's going to look. I don't know if we can zoom in on that.
I don't think we
Okay.
can, yeah.
No worries.
Sorry.
I know it's a little small, but you can kind of see the layout. 3 pickleball courts at the top, a soccer field below, and then just, a little entry area for, pickleball paddle rentals, sign-ins, We have bathrooms and then obviously an office as well. So really, really exciting. Next slide. Again, kind of just reiterating what we offer. Again, youth league, adult leagues, skill clinics, birthday parties, essentially. Pickleball as well. We want to do a membership program as well. Something that's really huge for us is, get the community involved early. I think that's really huge. You get a little sentimental value there when you get in there early. And again, senior programs, youth programs, court rentals, all that good stuff. Next one. Some programming. Again, it's kind of a little reiterating. Pretty similar stuff that we just kind of went over. Again, a lot of programming going on for those. Next. Community impact. I think it's huge. Again, family and youth. It's a safe place for people to come and play, for their children, teens, year round as well. It's indoors, so whether it's too hot or it's too cold, you can go in there. Competitive athletes. I think one thing that it will also do is it'll keep a lot of athletes in the area local, to perfect their craft instead of going to Wilmington or Salisbury, right? It'll keep a lot of people, develop the talent around in the area. So I think that's a plus. Again, senior community, bringing the senior community together, playing pickleball. I think it's a great thing. And then local economy. I think that's a big hitter here. By adding this, it'll drive a lot of visitors to Seaford, and grow the restaurants, grow the businesses in the area. Whether that's holding company events there, company leagues, whatever it may be. I think it's a great opportunity for businesses as well. And this is kind of like a roadmap to opening. We signed the lease agreement already. Construction begins end of June because we have to wait for a cement slab to be presented and ready to go at the end of this month. And then again, June, August, we're insulating the courts and the equipment and everything. And then kind of like a pre-launch marketing, we're gonna be working on our website and everything as we go along, as well as the build out. And then hopefully by October, that's kind of like our goal date, is to have a grand opening to the public, which would be awesome. I added some couple things at the bottom. What comes next? When we do open, right? We want to get our soccer pickleball leagues launched immediately with your guys' help, how we can get that out to the community the best way. I think that's the best way to do it is through, the city, however we can do that. We also want to do something that's really big, and why we started this is we're really big in the soccer community, right? We want to hold a huge soccer tournament to do a kickoff to the facility, and I think that would be huge. And then also start getting the pickleball memberships out there as well. First come, first serve type of thing. So I think that's really huge. So those are some of the side things. For you guys, our ask to you guys, we aren't asking for help with funding. What we are asking though is for your support, your partnership, and your confidence in Next Level Sports Complex as an asset to Seaford. I think it's, again, as we've touched on throughout this whole entire thing, I think we're looking to you guys as, can you guys help us out in supporting, getting it out there, bringing the community together to our facility, right? And getting the community all together. I mean, I think that's the most important part here, is having something like this to the community. So yeah, and next slide. Something I just added in here, we haven't really come up with a pricing to be determined, but one thing we would like to do is do like a sponsorship package for businesses or the community. We want to put local businesses in our facility, banners, so they can get publicity and people can go visit their restaurants, their businesses as well. And we want to put together some sort of package for those businesses and get them out to them. And the best way we can do that, right, and ask you guys for your help on that. And then, again, want to keep it super simple, super sweet and to the point for you guys. And we really do appreciate you guys having us in here and inviting us in here. We're super excited. And if you guys have any questions or open decisions or anything like that, yeah.
Thank you for your presentation.
Yes, of course.
I know I got a big sports fan over here. Councilman Quayle. He's got a few questions on his mind, I can tell.
Yeah. No questions, man. I just got a lot of comments, okay?
Yeah.
Excited, okay? Because I've been a youth sports coach for over 40 years.
Nice.
And this is something that community's been needing for a long time. I ran an indoor soccer program through the Boys and Girls Club, which is in a gymnasium. And of course, you know that you don't have the arena style play in there. And we had to go to Salisbury to get that arena style play. And so that's exciting for me to see that. I've got 2 or 3 grandchildren that all play soccer. Unfortunately, they're in Milford. So I can, hopefully they'll come down here and play. Because they're playing indoor up there, but it's a gymnasium style play up there as well. I'm also a pickleball player.
Nice.
So I can give you definitely 50 or more people right now that would be very interested in possible memberships. And as soon as we get that information, I will be definitely getting that out to those individuals. And I think I can bring a good large core of them, because right now the area doesn't really have a designated area for pickleball. The Boys and Girls Club does it out of a gym. There's a church out on Atlanta Road that does it in a gym, but there's no, and then of course we have the high school, which is outdoor.
Yeah.
And that, weather comes to a factor there. So excited about that too, have that come into the community. So I'm definitely an advocate for you guys, and I'll do the best that I can to bring as much memberships to you guys. Okay?
Thank you.
But thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
No, I thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I knew you'd be excited about this.
I know, I'm thinking
Vice
that.
Mayor.
I have a question about arena soccer. I mean, that's one field for court or pitch.
Yeah.
Pitch.
Right? If you want to have a tournament, are the games abbreviated? Because you got to turn and burn that
Turn and
tournament.
burn, baby.
Right?
You do.
I'll give it off to the tournament expert here.
Explain that to me, because, if you've only got one court and you're going to have a tournament, that's a lot of soccer play.
So maybe like one thing, my name's Alexis, by the way, but everybody knows me as Kiki, and I hope I get to know you guys well over the next couple years and months. But one thing, obviously I can't do it now, but I've been running an indoor soccer facility that not many people know about, except for like the Hispanic community, out of Lincoln, Delaware. I've ran that facility for the last 8 years. Very low-key, but it's a very nice location. I've done one-day tournaments in there with 32 teams. I brought in 5,000 people, and I've knocked out a whole tournament in one day. So the thing with like arena soccer, with outdoor, you have a lot more space, right? So it's like a 90-minute games or really long games. With indoor, it's very, very fast pace. Very fast paced, very quick. The games are only 30 minutes long, right? So if you get 12 teams in there, 16 teams, it doesn't really matter. You have short amount of time for the games, so you can have multiple games go on throughout the day. And I mean, typically, as soon as the game is over, there's no timeouts or anything. The next teams come on and play.
So a 16-team tournament is a 3-day tournament, just about.
No, it's
No?
one day.
One day.
One day.
Yeah.
So they're 30
So it's 8
minute-
hours for 16 teams.
No.
4 hours.
I mean,
Sorry.
It depends.
I don't mean to
It's-
pitch in, but
It depends on how you do it. Typically, when we do 16 teams, we start early. I'll give you an example. I did a 32-team tournament last year. Single elimination. We brought teams in from Maryland, Philadelphia. I mean, my tournament, I've had teams come in from Detroit, from everywhere. I own a soccer tournament and league already. It's after my last team, the Copa Torres. I got a really good following. I've been in the soccer community for years. We actually got to play in there used to be a Seaford League by the Seaford Library. Yeah, and I mean, that's where me and Steve met. Literally, that's where we met. Oh, I met Miguel there too. Wow. Anyways, that league doesn't exist anymore, but like, that was great. I didn't even know what Seaford was until that. And I mean, the area is great. I know Seaford just won a state championship in football.
Go Jays.
Yeah, literally. Oh man, I'm a huge basketball lover. Basketball team is great. And they've been good over the last couple of years. I mean, in general, the sports in Seaford has turned around since when I was in school. And I'm really, really excited that, we're here now. Because, like, it is a soccer field, but at the end of the day, there's more use to it than just that.
Well, my suggestion would be to develop a tournament that is multiple days.
Yes.
So that people can avail themselves of the restaurants, stay in hotels, and not just a one day and go.
Yeah.
That would be my suggestion.
Correct. And, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's a good thing, and I think that's maybe bringing in academies and stuff like that, maybe for youth. That would be a good thing to do, because that's normally how they go, is they last, 2 days, and you bring them in, they stay at a hotel, you gotta stay somewhere. But I mean, that's something we'd be, maybe looking to do down the road.
So just to run the math, so 16-team tournament is 15 matches, half hour each. If you're running them immediately after,
Yes.
7.5 hours.
Mhm.
So you have some break time, but just theoretically, you could do it in one day.
But the first games sometimes are early as 8 a.m.
There you go.
Like
So-
the
Yeah,
first
so, like, we knock
the
it
first
out.
games are at 8 a.m. and they start back to back to back to back.
So that goes to your turn and burn point. If
Yeah.
you turn and burn them quick enough,
Well,
you can get going.
I'm thinking bigger picture, more teams,
More
multiple
teams,
days.
the more we drive in
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because you want this is, it's 15,000 square feet. It's going to take a lot of revenue to support a 15,000 square foot place. So you need to think big. And I want to help you.
Yeah.
So, we got to think like that.
For sure.
We'll definitely have, one thing I want to bring back, and I know they're on board. Seaford, when we played, they had a really good league. I mean, this was years ago, and then they had a great indoor league. They're at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, Boys and Girls
We used to come out here and play all the time.
Yep.
Both of those leagues died. So I think we can bring something back to the community, and not just that, but I mean, this is going to be like the top of the line complex in Southern Delaware. There's no other indoor soccer field. Like I said, we have the one in Lincoln, but way smaller than this, and obviously not as up to date. We're gonna have glass walls, state-of-the-art turf. I mean, it's gonna be a really nice facility.
I think you hit the nail on the head with community. That's going to be pretty crucial. There was a time where various organizations kind of kept to themselves, and I get the sense now that more and more of them are working together and collaborating. So anything you do to make relationships with the Boys and Girls Clubs, and make a relationship with the Little League, with the youth
Our
programs,
Parks and Rec
Parks and
program.
Recreation, Katie Hickey.
Even the school districts.
Because a lot of times they're playing multiple sports, but gets to wintertime, they got nothing to do, and if those kids are young adults, they'd be a perfect demographic for you guys to work with. So the other thing I would say is that I know you want us to help you. Yes, sounds like we got a lot of help, and we want to open arms for you guys. Anything we do to invite you to like chamber events so you can meet local businesses. You're talking about potential sponsorships and banners, things of that nature. We can give you guys, that roadmap as well for you to help you.
That'd be great.
If I could just make a comment about the solicitation. My opinion is that you not seek outside help to solicit, but you do it yourselves because you're local people. I have a lot of different high schools that call me and they want solicitations, but first thing I ask, where are you calling from? Colorado. they hire people outside to solicit money, and I will not support them because I feel like if a local team or someone that's trying to promote it needs to do it personally. And I was very impressed with your first statements that you were local people and your experience in the area.
To that point, and I may have missed this, if someone wants to be a sponsor or if somebody wants to sign up, how do they go about doing that? Do you have a website that they can sign up on? What's that process going to look like long-term?
Yes, so as right now, our website's being built currently, and you will be able to go on our website and sign up through there.
Okay.
And if not, you can always give me a call. As you know, my number's there, and you can give me a call and we can set something up.
Well, again, if you get to that point, once it's built and it's functioning and people can do that, please let us know. And
Of course.
again, we'd be happy to, get you out there to community and say, if you're interested, go to this website, and if you're interested in sponsoring, this is how you do so. Because I think you got something really good going on here. We just want to help you throughout, get your feet underneath you.
Yeah, and to your guys' point, it's just Seaford as a community. When we announced, I mean, the community was so grateful to us. So I want to thank you guys as well. I mean, people have been reaching out nonstop, whether it's interested in the facility or just simply just, hey, this is great for our community. This is awesome. So I want to thank Seaford, for that because, that means a lot coming in, to Seaford.
We certainly got a demonstration of our passion for the city this evening.
Well,
I bet you were wondering what you were walking into.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just want to add, as a baseball, softball, field hockey mom, the sooner you can get some batting cages in there, or
We've gotten
either
requests for that already for
Yeah.
batting cages, because I guess the closest one is in Salisbury.
it is very difficult. I mean,
So,
we had to travel.
We're gonna,
Yeah, my husband and I had a travel team for softball, and getting batting cage times very difficult. So just saying.
heard that a lot.
Well, going down that road too, if you want to go with the baseball, you should have some type of an infield facility there too as well, because that was what your travel teams are going to be looking for. Is going to be looking for batting cages and somewhere where they can take infield.
Yep.
So if you don't have that infield facility there for them, they won't just book for batting cage only.
Yeah.
Okay?
Last thing for me is this concept, or something similar to this, has been discussed here in the city of Seaford, I know, for close to 10 years. And it has not come to fruition. So I just want to thank you for me and our community, because I think they're going to be very excited once this becomes a real deal.
Yeah.
And it comes to fruition, because it's been discussed, I know, for a long time. So that's why you're getting a lot of excitement, because people have been looking for something just like this.
Yeah, this is very exciting.
Just going back to what he stated a little while ago, you said several years ago the Boys and Girls Club had indoor soccer. Well, I started that about 25 years ago. Okay, I had 175 kids in that program, aging from 6 all the way to 18. And, we had people very excited about playing indoor soccer back then. So now bringing an arena-style soccer in there, which, Councilman Henderson, if you love hockey, you ought to come out and watch them in arena soccer, because it's just as fast as hockey is. So, yeah, it's exciting.
It sounds like if you have a 40 and older division, you might have some
Yeah,
competitors.
seriously.
Sure.
Get them cleats going.
Just saying, just saying.
One thing I did want to add
Tidal
too.
Health Mears campus is just down the road.
One thing I did want to add to, I know you brought up the one field. This is something that could potentially grow, and depending on how the years go, that building is pretty big, and we can expand. That is an option as well, but obviously, you want to gradually go. So, but that is a opportunity maybe down the line as we see how it goes. We could expand maybe to another field or, too. So.
Any more questions or comments from council?
Just thank you.
Yep. Good luck. Thanks very much.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. We're going to move on to new business number 3. And this is regarding appointing new members to the Police Chiefs Advisory Board. Don't see our chief here tonight, so maybe we can kind of...
He's not, yep, he recommended to you two people, Gene O'Darius and Tashawn Hughes. Both of them live in the city of Seaford at 215 Hickory Lane and 1207 Orchid Drive.
And Tashawn's here tonight.
Tashawn is, oh.
Yes, he is.
How are you, sir? So the chief is recommending that they be appointed to the Police Chiefs Advisory Board.
Do we have any question or comments from council regarding the potential appointments?
Not really familiar with either one of them. I just like to do a little bit of background information from them if we could.
I was going to say, I can give you a little bit. Gene O'Darius is a local pastor in the community. He has a Haitian congregation, but he is also a captain at the Delaware Correctional Facility in Smyrna.
Okay.
So he has a law enforcement background as well as has a good pulse on the Haitian community here in Seaford, and lives here in Seaford, and was very excited about the opportunity.
Was he the gentleman we met at
He was.
Cross
Yes,
Academy?
that's
Okay.
that gentleman.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
And then Tashawn,
I'm gonna
I
call
had
Mr.
Tashawn when he was in middle school, but I think
no.
he's grown
Oh,
since
no.
then, so let him share about
He
him.
grew up.
Yeah. He was a good kid, though.
Good evening, members of
Good
the
evening.
council,
Good evening.
mayor. I'm Tosan Hughes. I recently just moved back to Seaford. I was born and raised here. Graduated Seaford High School, member of the 2011 football team.
Go
Thankfully,
Jays.
we got it done. Thank you, Mayor.
Go Jays.
Thank you. But yeah, I'm more than honored to be a part of
Great.
the Chiefs Council. Thank you guys for having me. I'm looking forward to collaborating and seeing how we can continue to make strides in this great city of ours.
There you go.
Well, thank you for coming
Thank you.
forward.
Thank you so
and making a
much.
commitment. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any additional questions or comments? If there are none, at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion regarding the appointments.
I would like to make a motion to approve the recommendation of Mayor McCoy to appoint Gene O'Darius, 215 Hickory Lane, and Tashawn Hughes, 1207 Orchid Drive, to the Police Chiefs Advisory Board as presented.
We have a motion from Councilwoman and Dr. Grassett. Is there a second?
Councilman Quillen, I will second.
A second from Councilman Alan Quillen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passed unanimously. Congratulations and thank you for serving. Looking forward to it. On to new business number 4.
Okay, so council has in their packet the appointment of records officers and authorized agents for FY 2027. This is an annual thing we do up to Delaware Public Archives. The names of the personnel within the city have not changed. It is Beth Stewart, Tricia Newcomer, myself, and June Merritt. And again, we do this annually, so certainly Beth and Trish are here. We can certainly try to answer any questions the council might have.
Thank you, City Manager. There appears to be a question from Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
Comment. During the liaison meeting today, there was a suggestion made by the Director of Economic Development to treat this as an administrative type thing, that if there are no changes, that it would just roll year to year until there's a change, and the council would vote when there's a change, so that this would not have to come up again. So I'm generally in favor of it. It relieves us of having to do an administrative job. I'd be happy to entertain any questions about it or hear comments from the rest of the council.
I guess my only question would be for clarification purposes. If someone were to be appointed and at some point in time wish to step down or step off, and we would have to appoint somebody else, it would come back to the council for that reason?
Yeah, we would then bring it back. We did discuss this as the vice mayor's talking about. He brought up an interesting point too. He had some concern with council changes as well, which was a good point that I don't think we had talked about or thought through. But yeah, I think we would need to be cognizant of that. And if we do have a change on council, or if any of the employees changed, or assignments for the employees, we would have to bring this back at that next available time.
Understood. Any additional questions or comments from council? If there are none at this time, I will accept the motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the appointment of records officers and authorized agents for fiscal year 2027 and thereon until such document is altered and as presented.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Dan Henderson. Is there a second?
Councilman Bradley, I second the motion.
We have a second from Councilman Mike Bradley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Passes unanimously. Do we have any old business?
No, sir, we do not.
All right, I'm going to move on to the reminder of meetings.
So we have none this time.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We're going to move on to our liaison reports, and I believe for the first time, our Police and Fire Commissioner, Councilwoman Stephanie Grassett.
Yes, and I apologize because with the holiday, I met with both chiefs. I had a great meeting, actually, with both chiefs in person, but one of them occurred this afternoon. So I haven't had a chance to do much to the report other than submit it as submitted by the two chiefs. I'm going to start with the information from our fire chief, Matt Reed, and I did meet with him today. We are at 567 calls to date for year to date in 2026. So far in May, we've had 96 calls for fire. That's an average of 3.7 and 3.88 calls per day. Our EMS have been quite busy. We've had 1,952 calls in 2026, with 354 of those occurring in April. He didn't have the May data, but that averages for both of them about 13 calls per day coming for our EMS services. So far, with both of those, total response, we're getting about 17 calls per day for fire and EMS. As far as significant incidences, we did have several opportunities to work in a mutual aid situation with other fire companies, both in accidents and fires. As well, our fire department and our police department did assist the Delaware State Police with the shooting that occurred on German Road. And a very serious accident occurred this afternoon at Matt Road. As far as our apparatus is concerned, E872 remains reserved, and we have A87 at Frederick Ford for a transmission issue being worked on. Trainings that they've had recently, the last training they had was on Wednesday, May 20th, and it was boat operations. The next training is coming up on Wednesday, June 17th, and that is driver requalification. We did have an EMT firefighter injured his ankle on the line of duty, and we wish him well and hope that he's out for 6 weeks due to this injury. We wish him well and hope he heals quickly. The department is working now with a third-party company called Ensure to audit their EMS billing. Their receipts are down, but their calls are not. So they have gotten with a third party to assess to see maybe what those situations are with the billing to make sure that they're receiving all the reimbursements they should from insurance companies. Our new engine 873 has completed its tool mounting. They're going to be working on driver's training and some warranty issues. They hope to have it in service within the next few weeks. And that new engine will be here at our council meeting. We decided at the June 23rd, I think.
You are correct. Yes,
June
ma'am.
23rd meeting for all of us before the council meeting to get a chance to look at the new vehicle. The committee for the new Ladder 87 just traveled to Appleton, Wisconsin several days last week to complete the engineering conference. They expect it to hit production in the fall of 2026. The new ambulance that was ordered in 2024 has now hit production and should be completed in early July. Last week was EMS Appreciation Week, and the fire department provided lunch each day for their employees as a thank you for their hard work and dedication to the department. And we also wish all of our EMS staff while it's belated, we appreciate them and all the work they do. The police report, total complaints, we've had, and I apologize because I didn't get to do much adjusting to this, but so far complaints are again down, total complaints for this year. So far we've had 4,281 complaints. Most recently, the crimes, we've had 153, 9 of those being felony, 35 misdemeanor. Our clearance rate is at about 84%, but of course, switching some of the coding is making a change in that, so they're still adjusting to that. Most recently, we've had 8 drug complaints, 218 traffic contacts, resulting in 44 citations and 7 warnings. We've had 1 DUI, 15 crashes, and several of those involve hit and run incidents. As far as a summary report, the significant events are all listed, and the two that I really want to highlight is the fact that Seaford Police were able to assist the Delaware State Police with a burglary investigation involving a fleeing suspect. Officers utilized our city camera technology, which is pretty state-of-the-art, to monitor the suspect's movements, which led to a coordinated foot pursuit by both agencies, and the subject was taken into custody without injury. Also, like to highlight that our staff our police and our fire did assist with the homicide that occurred out in Concord at the Pond Boat ramp area, including providing assistance for traffic control, scene security, and hospital security. And unfortunately, as we know, 1 juvenile died from injuries in that incident, and the perpetrators have been identified and are wanted at this time. Community events do have a picture, I think, of did we put the other picture in there? Yep. This is Officer Blake. Officer Blake likes to stop and play basketball with kids when he can, and he happened to, after shooting around, decided that he was going to challenge them to a push-up competition. I'm not sure who won, but if one of the kids did, then maybe they need to be in uniform. But maybe they want to be a police officer when they grow up. I know my son did at that age, so that's awesome. We do have spear training going on twice a month, and we will have a graduation. 3 Seaford Police Department recruits will be graduating on June 5th from the police academy, and that graduation will, again, take place on June 5th, and then we will hopefully be fully staffed. Knock on something, wood, that we will be fully staffed in our police department at that time. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Grassett. We're going to move over to Code and Parks and Recreation, and I believe as well Administration, and Vice Mayor Dan Henderson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On a personal note, Councilwoman Grassett, you had mentioned about EMS building, and from personal experience with my father's event earlier this year, I can tell you that the ambulance billing was less than efficient, and we managed to be able to pay it, but I'm certain that there is some leakage because of the process. So you might have some well-meaning people who want to pay that just can't pay. So we'll start out with Code Department report. So far this year, as of the 26th, there's 124 building permits issued. Under rental license, there have been 1,861 units licensed. The 2026 rental inspections are being phased and staged around, for efficiency around the community. So they're for efficiency. And they're doing routine inspections for the ongoing projects around town, of which there are many. They're doing violation inspections throughout the city as they occur, and they're busy performing plan reviews for new permit issuance. We're going to continue on Councilwoman Grassett's tradition of providing helpful code facts, and this one is for Chapter 3 under Animals. And I will quote under Section 3.2.2. It says, "No person shall keep any livestock, swine, cow, bull, sheep, pig, goat, goose, duck, in bold, chicken, hen, or rooster, turkey, poultry, fowl, rabbits, or like animal or other farm animal, as well as snakes, foxes, wolves, or other wild animals within the city of Seaford." So,
You hear that, McCoy kids? Don't get any ideas back there.
And the rooster on
No
Houston,
snakes.
and the
No
rooster
snakes,
on
guys.
Houston Street's
Yeah.
gone bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, but
Yeah, he's
disappeared.
probably somebody's dinner.
maybe the coyote got him.
But my cat's missing, so on Houston Street, look out for my cat.
It is confirmed there is a coyote in town. My wife has seen it. So, so be careful, about your pets and.
Oh, God, my cat's missing.
Yeah. So, it was not a fox. It was a coyote. So, under large project status, Muirfield 1, Phase 4. There's 17 lots remaining in Phase 4, and George Miles and Buer has re-inspected Phase 3 prior to dedication. For those of you who may not know, dedication is an inspection for compliance to the specifications for streets and the sewers and water lines underneath of them, for compliance before the city takes on the responsibility of their care. So that's an important step at the end of a project, that it meets all the specifications and it's done correctly before the city takes responsibility. Ryan Homes has started construction for a new model home in that phase. Bel Air Single Family, Danfield, under Danfield Drive, they're waiting for dedication inspection request so that the engineers can go out and inspect for compliance. Under the Nylon Capital Center, the permits are issued for the front building shell spaces. The fit out for the mill has started. Deltec final inspection is scheduled for this week. I don't see it. Was that done today? Wasn't that imminent?
It's imminent, but I don't believe they did it today.
Okay. Well, it's, that inspection is imminent. The Tidal Health Building construction is progressing, and the contractor is paving around the mill. If you drive by there, it's a beehive of activity. It looks really good. Even though it's incomplete, you can definitely see the progress that's been had. The mod wash, all inspections have passed, and they should be opening this week. I saw them over the weekend. They were doing landscaping and putting down hardscape. It really does look nice. Under Governor's Grant Phase 4, D.R. Horton has several homes under construction. During the campaign, I did walk by the model, and the model was very attractive. Under Aldi, the building steel, a good number of the structural steel products are up, and it's still ongoing with the roof members and girts going up. Under Cookout, the building plans are being finalized for permit submission, and the Seaford Inn final plans have been submitted and are being reviewed. Moving on to Parks and Recreation. not going to go through the routine stuff. Here's your highlights. Under parks, they completed 13 grass cutting work orders so far this season, and that is for grass being too tall, and the councilwoman had previously given the guidelines on grass height, 10 inches.
Yes, sir.
So be careful. We got a little bit of rain, you might be out of compliance. And I do appreciate, because one of the tickets was a neighboring property, a neighboring vacant property, and it definitely improved the look of the neighborhood. They worked on irrigation maintenance in various locations, and they ordered new sprinkler heads to try at the sports complex and installed several last week. So they're doing a trial run on the sprinkler heads to see how they perform, and they may order more and rotate them in on a continuing basis. They drained and replaced the pump at the Kiwanis Park fountain, and they also trimmed trees and set up the tent for the Memorial Day service, which unfortunately was not necessary due to the indoor ceremony. And they maintain the athletic fields for the recreation programs and rentals. Under recreation, they completed weeks 5 and 6 of men's slow pitch softball and posted scores and standings online. And completed weeks 6 and 7 of the youth soccer and worked on rescheduling due to a few rained out games, and playoffs are to begin this week. They have 10 youth registered for the upcoming youth pickleball clinic, June 16th, 18th, 23rd, and 25th. Let me go back to soccer. I don't recall the exact number, but it was approximately 250 participants.
That seems
in
correct.
In youth soccer, around that number. That just goes to show the interest in soccer that the gentleman preceding us here
He's right.
had tonight. For the superintendent, she worked with Sussex Conservation and reviewed the riprap replacements for 3 city bioponds. I learned something new today. I did not know that the cities, the stormwater ponds on city property are in the purview of Parks and Rec. So I don't know why I didn't think it was. I thought it might have been a streets issue, but she's responsible for that. So she worked with Sussex Conservation, and she received some funding to cover 80% of the cost to repair the riprap and get the ponds back into compliance. She attended the fiscal year 27 budget workshop, number 2, on the 19th, and she assisted the Seaford Tomorrow group with their first Friday night live event, which was very successful. I estimated about 300 people. It might have even been more at the end, because I left maybe 2/3 of the way through it. We were getting hungry, so we went downtown. So they're hoping for the same turnout the rest of the season, or maybe more. We could. There were a lot of people there, but we could do better.
You can get more.
That's going to be on Friday, June 5th, from 5 to 8. And the Riverview Park, which is down on the river next to the boat launch, is in need of roof repair. So, and as well as HVAC unit on the park shop, which she's getting bids for all of that. Moving on to administration. Administration's busy with meetings and normal work, but city manager did attend a meeting with the Seaford School District to discuss the status of a possible tennis court project. They met with local marine contractor to discuss the necessary repairs within the East Riverwalk area. You might recall that during the construction of the second River Walk Place, or River Place building.
Correct.
They had to install a launch to replace the one that was deleted for the project. So that launch is next to the Blades Bridge, the Nanticoke River Bridge, and it's washing out and needs some repairs. So they discussed that. Met with representatives from Gardner Gibson Asphalt Plant regarding potential utility service connection, and met with an engineer to discuss the Phase 4 improvements at the Seaford Town Center, which you all will recall is a former power plant site. And city manager also attended the DMEC first quarter finance committee meeting. There's other work there. He worked on revisions to the Nylon Well site plan. And he actually put on a set of gloves and helped out with city cleanup. There may even be did you get caught on camera with that?
There wasn't much work going on.
No? Okay.
He said he actually put on gloves. Did you hear that?
I put gloves on, I did.
All right.
Had to look official.
Okay, so, let's see, under information technology,
You're gonna talk about your picture?
I will.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
just let
sorry.
it burn onto the
Okay,
screen
all
for a
right,
little while.
okay, all right.
So, under information technology, Tricia, in the absence of her brother-in-arms there, worked with an outside vendor on the SCADA technical assistance, and they worked with Mid-South Audio to correct a mic issue with this podium. There was an audio issue or a microphone issue with that, and that was repaired. And she did also routine calls for assistance, and they may seem routine, but they're not routine for the people who need them. So, economic development and community relations. She also assisted with cleanup week. She attended she was a server, if I remember correctly. Were you serving? At Friday Night Live recently, and met with some officials from Sussex County and Del One regarding potential grant opportunity. She attended a 2-day supervisory training at DMEC, and she also attended the meeting with Charles down at the Riverwalk. And she also participated in a radio interview on WGMD sponsored by Community Bank, and she's spreading the good word about Seaford. And she participated in part-time parks interviews for the summer season. And she also attended the budget workshop. And in human resources and finance, June reports that she also attended the workshop, attended the monthly DMEC board meeting, prepared for contract negotiations with Teamsters and the police department. She met with a representative from New York Life for voluntary employee benefit offerings. This is, New York Life offers a set of benefits that the city would administer. It's voluntary. It's something similar to what Aflac. They have a number of products, a number of supplemental insurance products and other things like that, maybe even additional life. But they have an array of products that are totally voluntary, and the city would manage the deductions that would, the payroll deductions for that. She attended a Edmunds GovTech webinar on employee self-service and timekeeping options. She did mention that there was a lot of useful things on there, but there would be possibly some budgetary constraints that might push an adoption of this service down the line. And she did mention that all other business is routine. To wrap it up, I had the distinct honor of accompanying former Councilwoman Grace Peterson to Legislative Hall the other day, along with Deputy Chief and the City Manager, for the Senate committee hearing on the Grace Peterson bill, which eventually, a couple days later, passed the Senate unanimously, and we don't know exactly when it's going to the House for presentation for a committee meeting or to be presented on the floor, but we're hopeful that it'll get the same treatment that it did on the Senate floor. The Grace Peterson bill helps make houses that receive state funds, it gives them accountability and gives them more guidelines that they cannot do a cold handoff. They cannot do a cold eviction. They must do a warm handoff to another service provider or someone else before they get evicted, so that the person does not land on the street with no place to go. Had this service been in place, she would not have suffered the horrific injuries and trauma that she did, and I'm just so appreciative to have been there to accompany her through that. So that concludes my report.
And thank you for being there. Going to move over to our electric department and Councilman Mike Bradley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm degassed now, so I'm a little more civil. Greg Brook released his report this morning. He was off. He was involved with cleanup, and once again, I'm going to reiterate how appreciative we are as a council for everybody's help with the city and the cleanup, although this year it was a little more frustrating than usual because we had a lot of abuses thrown in our face, which will be dealt with at a later date. They retired a three-phase overhead wire in front of the Seaford Innovation and relocated transformer and street light. Tomorrow, Lambert Cable and DP&L are preparing for pole replacement at 500 East Stein. They've set 2 new transformers in Governor's Grant Phase 4. I think some of that was touched on earlier. And of course, Greg Brook helped with cleanup week. He met at Seaford Innovation to discuss the work sequence along Atlanta Road. And he met with Audi about the infrastructure installation and prepared estimates for such. And I believe, yes, it does. That concludes my report. Short and sweet.
Thank you, Councilman. I'm going to move over to a Public Works and Wastewater Treatment Facility and Councilman Alan Quillen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You got a picture to put up there for me, please? I'd like to take a little bit of time just to recognize this group right here. For the last almost 2 weeks, they have been working hard throughout the city, and not only this crew here, but several other volunteers coming out of City Hall, coming out of other departments, Parks and Rec, Electric Department, all these things. For almost 2 weeks, these individuals worked steadily every day in the rain and definitely in the heat too as well. So I commend them for their dedication to getting the city cleaned up like it has. So this last Friday, we had a pizza party for them. I think they really enjoyed that, and they really thanked me several times for that, for doing that. So, but what we've done so far, right now we have loaded about 50 loads that have gone to the dump. We still have a pile there down to near the wastewater treatment plant, and we're anticipating anywhere from 10 to 15 more loads going to the dump too as well. So we're anticipating over 60 loads going. But I just want to recognize this group here, and I want to recognize everybody that volunteered too and say thank you. Thank you very much. The only other thing is that they are back to a normal routine now, and they're trying to get caught up on cleaning up piles of limbs and the bags of leaves and things like that. So that we're back to a normal routine now. So that's all I have to report on to the public works. And I'll move over to wastewater treatment. The plant and the dewatering both are working, performing excellent. The efficient is clear and crystal clear. The oxy tank number 1, the bearing was not economical to repair, so they had to put a new motor in. The oxy blower number 4 has a new motor received and will be installing soon, and also helped with cleanup week as well. The west sand filter down for idler and has been repaired, and met with Gardner Asphalt to discuss options for boiler blowdown disposal. That completes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilman Quillen. At this time, I'd like to ask for a motion to hold executive session.
So moved.
Motion from Vice Mayor Dan Henderson. Is there a second?
Councilman Quillen, I'll second.
And a second from Councilman Alan Quillen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. Okay, we're going to enter into executive session. Thank you very much.